We all change. None of us look the same as we did when we were children. However, when you've been famous since childhood, those changes become much more obvious because every moment of your life is captured on camera. Here are some famous child actors you would never recognize today. Number 20. Daniel Radcliffe. It's hard to believe, but it's been 22 years since the first Harry Potter movie hit theaters. Feeling old yet? Daniel Radcliffe brought the boy wizard to life in a way that captured the imagination of an entire generation. But behind the magic, Daniel was quietly battling a much darker reality. Thrust into the global spotlight at just 11 years old, the pressures of fame quickly became overwhelming. While millions saw him as the face of Hogwarts, Daniel was juggling intense filming schedules, not just for Harry Potter, but for theater and other films too. The non-stop demands began to take a toll, and as he grew older, he turned to alcohol as a way to cope with the relentless stress and scrutiny. In fact, if you look closely at some scenes in the later Harry Potter films, you might notice his slurred speech, subtle signs of a deeper struggle. Thankfully, with the love and support of close friends and family, Daniel found the strength to confront his addiction and take back control of his life. He's publicly apologized to fans and worked hard to move forward, but today, his appearance has sparked concern. Many say he looks frail, even sickly, and whispers about his health are beginning to grow louder. Number 19. Amanda Bynes. From the moment Amanda Bynes stepped in front of a camera at just 7 years old, it was clear she was destined for stardom. Her breakout came on Nickelodeon's All That, where her quick wit and charm quickly earned her a fan base, and her own hit series, The Amanda Show. With a natural flair for comedy, Amanda seemed unstoppable. But fame came at a cost. After announcing her retirement from acting, Amanda's life began spiraling out of control. What followed was a string of troubling incidents, run-ins with the law, public meltdowns, and signs of a mental health crisis that eventually erupted into a full psychotic break. The bubbly teen idol America once adored had become a shell of her former self. One haunting image from this period captured her in a disheveled blonde wig, so jarring, it looked like something pulled from the reject bin on a Nickelodeon set. Yet through the chaos, Amanda has been fighting to heal. Today, she's making strides in her recovery and has even shared her desire to return to acting. While she may still look different from the girl we remember, she's healthier, more grounded, and most importantly, on a hopeful path forward. It's not the comeback story just yet, but it's a promising chapter. Number 18. Juliana Rose Moriello. Remember Stephanie from Lazy Town? The adorable, pink-haired girl who danced her way into our hearts? Well, whatever happened to her might just surprise you. She didn't vanish into obscurity, or worse, as some tabloids once claimed, spiral into scandal. Rumors swirled about arrests, addiction, and tragic endings. But none of it was true. Juliana didn't fall, she simply stepped away. While the world was busy speculating, she quietly walked into a new chapter of her life, far from the spotlight. She gave up the glitz of television and fame across 70 countries to pursue something deeply personal: education. Not in the arts, but in healing. Juliana enrolled at Columbia University and earned her master's degree in occupational therapy. From stage plays and Icelandic filming sets to helping others rebuild their lives. What a transformation! Her final screen appearance was back in 2013, in the miniseries The Doc Files. Since then, she's left acting behind entirely. So if you're hoping to see her again, you might have to schedule a therapy session, because that's her world now. The real question is, would you even recognize her? Number 17. Jake Lloyd. Hollywood can be a dream factory, but it doesn't hand out mercy. Jake Lloyd was just a young boy when he landed the iconic role of Anakin Skywalker, the sweet child destined to become Darth Vader, in Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Overnight, he was thrust into the spotlight. Between intense filming schedules, voiceover work for video games, and a whirlwind promotional tour, Jake's childhood vanished under the weight of fame. After Star Wars, Jake stepped away from acting, trying to lead a normal life. But life didn't go easy on him. Over the years, he battled mounting personal struggles that came to a dramatic head in 2016 when he was arrested after a high-speed chase in South Carolina. According to his mother, Jake had been living with severe mental illness and was later diagnosed with schizophrenia. He spent 10 months in jail before being transferred to a psychiatric facility. Jake's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how fast life can spiral, from the heights of stardom to the depths of despair. If you compare photos of him as little Anakin to now, the transformation is staggering. It's like looking at two completely different people. While you take a moment to reflect on the passage of time and the price of early fame, here's a quick quiz to keep your mind spinning. Which now famous child actor auditioned for the role of Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace but didn't even get a callback? Stick around, I'll reveal the answer at the end of the video. But for now, let's check out more child stars you wouldn't even recognize today. Number 16, Davy Chase. She began performing at just 3 years old, and by 8, she already had an impressive lineup of TV credits to her name. But most of us remember her for one chilling role: the terrifying little girl Samara from the 2002 horror classic The Ring. She crawled out of the TV and straight into our nightmares. But today, you'd walk right past her on the street without a second glance. That haunting black hair is long gone, replaced by flowing, sun-kissed California blonde waves that match the vibrant life she now leads. Truth is, Davy was always a stunning child. Her horror movie makeup just masked it with pure nightmare fuel. Behind the screen, Davy's been a familiar presence for years, literally inside your television. She's appeared in hit series like CSI, and if her face doesn't ring a bell, her voice just might. She brought life to the lovable Lilo in Lilo and Stitch, and gave voice to Chihiro in the Oscar-winning Japanese animated masterpiece Spirited Away. Whether it's her voice or her appearance, one thing's for sure, you'd never guess she was the girl who once scared an entire generation. Especially if that ghostly image of Samara is still burned into your brain. Number 15, Susan Olsen. From 1969 to 1974, Susan Olsen melted hearts as the lovable Cindy Brady on The Brady Bunch. As the youngest member of the Brady family, her role was all about charm, innocence, and sweetness, and she played it perfectly. Because of that iconic image, many assumed Susan would carry that same wholesome persona into adulthood. But life, as it often does, took a different turn. Like all child stars, Susan grew up, and today, she's almost unrecognizable from the pigtail-wearing girl America once adored. After all, decades have passed, and time changes us all. What's more surprising, though, is how much her personality seems to have evolved too. Susan made headlines when she was fired from a Los Angeles radio station after a heated online argument with a gay actor, an incident that revealed a side of her fans didn't expect. It wasn't just her appearance that had changed, but perhaps her outlook too. Still, Susan has remained active in several fields, from championing animal welfare to pursuing her passion for art. She's even authored books and occasionally reunites with her Brady Bunch co-stars for TV specials and fan conventions, keeping the spirit of Cindy Brady alive in small ways. Her journey is a reminder that growing up in the spotlight is never simple. Susan Olsen's story is one of transformation, controversy, and rediscovery, proving that behind every child star is a real person navigating life long after the cameras stop rolling. Number 14, Miko Hughes. Remember that creepy little boy from Stephen King's Pet Sematary, the one who got hit by a truck and came back as a scalpel-wielding killer? Yep, that was Miko Hughes. But believe it or not, that wasn't even his first role. By the time he was just 22 months old, Miko had already appeared in a public service announcement, and by 27 months, he made his big screen debut. His breakout role in Pet Sematary was only the beginning. Miko quickly became one of Hollywood's most in-demand child actors, with standout performances like the emotionally gripping portrayal of an autistic boy alongside Bruce Willis in Mercury Rising. He also made his mark in films like Apollo 13 and Kindergarten Cop. Of Native American descent, his name, Miko, means chief in Chickasaw, fitting for a kid who was leading roles before he could even tie his shoes. While not all his later projects were hits, Miko never stopped acting. And these days? He's found a new passion, beekeeping. That's right, he's got over 30,000 bees as pets. So maybe it's time to forget the image of that terrifying zombie kid with the scalpel. Because today, Miko Hughes is all grown up, and a long way from Pet Sematary. Number 13, Ivana Bakuro. Many child stars leave their mark in fantasy or horror films, and Ivana Bakuro is no exception. Her unforgettable performance as Ophelia in Pan's Labyrinth turned heads around the world. Originally, director Guillermo del Toro envisioned an 8-year-old for the role. But when 11-year-old Ivana auditioned, she blew him away, so much so that he rewrote the part just for her. Born in Barcelona, Ivana began acting at the age of 8, but it was Pan's Labyrinth that catapulted her to international stardom. Her hauntingly beautiful performance earned her the 2007 Goya Award, and she's been shining ever since. Now 27, Ivana has grown far beyond the wide-eyed dreamer we remember. She's transformed into a stunning and versatile actress, working steadily in both English and Spanish productions, including projects alongside stars like Kevin Costner. But there's more to Ivana than just talent and beauty. While she remains fully committed to her acting career, she's also studying law. So don't be surprised if you one day see her stealing the spotlight in a courtroom just as effortlessly as she does on screen. Number 12. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Most of us remember Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen as the adorable twins who stole the spotlight on Full House, playing little Michelle Tanner. Their charm turned them into a pop culture phenomenon, leading to a booming career that included their own book series, TV shows, and blockbuster movies. But then, just like that, they vanished from the spotlight. Fans were left wondering, what happened to the Olsen twins? And when they finally resurfaced, the transformation was nothing short of shocking. The once wide-eyed girls we all grew up with were now nearly unrecognizable, elegant, distant, and very different from their childhood selves. Time, and perhaps a bit of cosmetic enhancement, had clearly left its mark. They've since stepped away from acting entirely, choosing to focus on their high-end fashion empire instead. And while fans had hoped for a nostalgic return in the Fuller House reboot, the sisters made it clear they won't be reprising their iconic role. Not only are they no longer interested in being in front of the camera, but let's face it, their look and lifestyle have evolved so much, bringing both of them back as Michelle Tanner just wouldn't feel the same. Number 11. Taj Mowry. The 90s introduced us to a wave of unforgettable child stars, but can you remember them all? One face you definitely shouldn't forget is Taj Mowry, the lovable kid who brought T.J. Henderson to life on the hit Disney sitcom Smart Guy. Who could forget that line, "I'm going up to my room to think about what I did"? Adorable and sharp, Taj didn't stop there. He voiced Sonic the Hedgehog, appeared in Out All Night, Where I Live, and stole hearts as Teddy on Full House. Born in Honolulu, Hawaii, Taj was managed by his mother, who also guided the careers of his famous twin sisters, Tia Mowry Hardrict and Tamara Mowry Housley. In 1994, he joined them on their breakout ABC sitcom Sister. Oh, and let's not forget his cameo in the Friends Super Bowl episode. Even Courtney Cox herself called him cute. Taj has never really left the spotlight. In 2015, he signed a record deal and dropped an EP, showing off his impressive vocal skills. Not bad for a former child star, right? From a cute kid to a confident, handsome young man, Taj is definitely still turning heads. But here's the real question, would you recognize that cheeky grin today? Number 10. Mackenzie Rossman. Some child stars chase the spotlight their whole lives. Others step away to follow a different path. Mackenzie Rossman, best known for playing Ruthie Camden in a staggering 236 episodes of Seventh Heaven, was once one of the most recognizable young faces on television. Who could forget her role as the spunky, sharp-tongued daughter of Eric and Annie Camden? By the time she was 16, Mackenzie already had a decade of acting under her belt, an incredible feat for someone so young. But after a few more roles, she quietly faded from the Hollywood scene. So where did she go? As it turns out, Mackenzie found a new passion. She's now a competitive show jumper in her free time. But that's not all. She's also devoted herself to a cause that hits close to home. Her stepsister battles cystic fibrosis, and Mackenzie has made it her mission to support those affected by the disease. She's become a tireless advocate, fundraising and raising awareness about the importance of organ donation to help cystic fibrosis patients live longer, healthier lives. Not every child star sticks with the entertainment industry, and that's okay. Mackenzie Rossman found a purpose beyond fame, using her voice and platform to make a real difference. And that's a legacy worth celebrating. Number 9. Jonathan Lipnicki. Show me the money. That unforgettable line from Jerry Maguire was shouted by Cuba Gooding Jr., but it was a much smaller star who stole hearts in that film. Remember the adorable little boy who sweetly said, "Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?" That was 5-year-old Jonathan Lipnicki, and with just one line, he became an instant Hollywood favorite. Starting your career alongside Tom Cruise isn't exactly a low-key debut, but Jonathan didn't stop there. He went on to charm audiences again in Stuart Little and Stuart Little 2, proving he wasn't just a one-hit wonder. By the time he was 10, the movies he starred in had already grossed nearly $750 million worldwide. Talk about showing them the money. Eventually, Jonathan stepped away from the spotlight to live a more normal teenage life: proms, friends, and graduation. But he never left acting entirely. Now all grown up and looking more dashing than ever, Jonathan Lipnicki is still in the game. And who knows? The best might be yet to come. Number 8. Abigail Breslin. Born in 1996 in New York, Abigail Breslin captured hearts as the quirky, unforgettable Olive in Little Miss Sunshine. But she's no longer that wide-eyed child star. Abigail has grown into a fierce and fearless woman making waves across Hollywood. Now in her 20s, she's already earned an Oscar nomination and continues to prove she's a powerhouse in film, TV, and even music. In 2014, she turned heads with a raw, emotionally charged breakup anthem called You Suck, a bold move that landed her in the tabloids but marked a defining moment in her journey toward womanhood. Like many of us, she faced heartbreak in her teenage years, made mistakes, and learned from them. But those chapters only fueled her growth. Since then, Abigail has reclaimed the spotlight, starring in cult hits like Zombieland and eyeing another breakout with the upcoming Stillwater. Beyond the screen, she's poured her heart into writing, sharing deeply personal stories and hard-earned wisdom in powerful essays and articles. She's also become a passionate advocate for crime victims' rights, using her voice to make a real difference after surviving her own traumatic experiences. Whether it's a gritty indie drama or a big-budget blockbuster, Abigail's talent shines through. Her ability to transform, to evolve, and to keep pushing forward has earned her the respect of both critics and fans. One thing's for sure, Abigail Breslin is no passing star. She's here to stay. Number 7. Alyson Stoner, a name that needs no introduction. Back in the early 2000s, Alyson was the breakout star of every iconic Missy Elliott music video. If you've ever watched Work It, or I'm Really Hot, then you've definitely seen her stealing the spotlight with her insane dance moves. She wasn't just a music video sensation either. Alyson was a powerhouse in kids' TV and film throughout the 2000s. She lit up the screen in Cheaper by the Dozen, 2003, and its sequel, 2005. And who could forget her role in Disney's Camp Rock alongside Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers? But where is she now? Well, first of all, she's not that little girl anymore. Alyson is now 27 and still absolutely crushing it in the dance world. In fact, in 2019, she reunited with Missy Elliott for an unforgettable performance at the MTV VMAs, rocking a bold yellow tracksuit and reminding everyone exactly why she became a legend in the first place. And she's not stopping at dance. Alyson's also making music. In 2019, she dropped her deeply personal single, Stripped Bare, a raw, honest look at the struggles of growing up in the spotlight. Despite the challenges, Alyson remains full of life, energy, and passion. And make no mistake, she's not stepping away from the stage anytime soon. Number 6. Jaleel White, you won't believe what he looks like now. Remember the quirky, lovable nerd Steve Urkel from Family Matters? That unforgettable catchphrase, "Did I do that?" And those thick glasses made him an icon of 90s TV. But here's something you might not know. Jaleel White was only supposed to appear in one episode. Yep, just one. But audiences loved him so much, he became the heart and soul of the entire show. Fast forward to today, and Jaleel is a whole new man. He's athletic, confident, and charismatic, worlds away from the clumsy kid we grew up watching. And he's a proud father too. His daughter, Samaya, is the spitting image of him. Since Family Matters ended, Jalil's been busy. He's appeared in hit shows like Dreamgirls, NCIS, CSI, and more. You might also recognize his voice as the original Sonic in the classic Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons. Though his role as Urkel launched him into fame, Jalil has said he didn't feel like a real actor until later in his career, when he finally had the freedom to explore roles beyond the suspenders and high-pitched voice. In recent years, he's embraced reality TV, competing on Dancing with the Stars and showing fans a whole new side of himself. He's also made waves in the digital space through web series, proving he's not just surviving in the industry, he's evolving with it. Beyond acting, Jalil has stepped behind the camera as a writer and producer, helping shape new stories for a modern audience. And he's not just about entertainment anymore, he's using his voice to support meaningful causes and inspire real change. From Urkel to Unstoppable, Jalil White's journey is one of transformation, talent, and staying power. Number 5. Stephen Anthony Lawrence. If you were a fan of Disney Channel's Even Stevens, you probably remember the quirky, bacon-obsessed character Beans, played by none other than Stephen Anthony Lawrence. With his oddball charm and unforgettable face, Stephen brought Beans to life with complete dedication. But that same unique look that made him so memorable also ended up working against him. He got typecast, and landing new roles that could pay the bills became a serious struggle. Then, in December 2015, Stephen was spotted working as Santa's helper at a mall in Southern California, and the internet absolutely lost it. Shoppers at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California were stunned, snapping selfies with the former child star as the photos quickly went viral. But what really shocked people wasn't just where he was working, it was how much he had changed. He looked so different, you'd never guess he was once the kid from Even Stevens. If someone hadn't pointed him out, you might have walked right past him. Even more surprising? He wasn't even 30 yet, but looked significantly older. Some fans even said he now resembles a young Wallace Shawn more than the wild-eyed Beans we all remember. Number 4. Josh Peck. He first skyrocketed to fame in 2004 with the hit Nickelodeon show Drake and Josh, but Josh hasn't slowed down since. Over the years, he's taken on a variety of projects, showing just how versatile he truly is. In film, he's appeared in Locating Silver Lake, 2018, and Doors, 2021, and on TV, he's had a recurring role on The Mindy Project and lent his voice to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2015 to 2016. He also teamed up with John Stamos for the Fox comedy Grandfathered. More recently, he's partnered with Disney Plus for their TV reboot of Turner and Hooch. But Josh isn't just sticking to traditional Hollywood. He's carved out a strong presence online too. He found early success on Vine, becoming one of the platform's biggest stars before it shut down in 2017. Today, he's a prominent YouTuber and digital creator with a loyal following. At 34, Josh is proving that his talent goes far beyond childhood stardom. He's also a podcast host, diving deep into personal stories and cultural conversations with honesty and humor. And in his memoir, he opens up about his journey with weight loss, self-growth, and the ups and downs of life in the spotlight. Whether it's on screen, online, or behind the mic, Josh Peck continues to evolve, and audiences everywhere are taking notice. His charm, authenticity, and versatility have made him not just a nostalgic favorite, but a modern-day force to be reckoned with. Keep an eye on Josh, he's just getting started. Number 3. Malcolm David Kelly. Remember that little boy from the hit TV series Lost? Yep, we're talking about Walt Lloyd, one of the show's most mysterious and intriguing characters. Lost might be one of the greatest shows ever made, and possibly home to one of the most disappointing finales of all time, but don't worry, no spoilers here. Malcolm David Kelly brought Walt to life in those unforgettable early seasons, playing a young boy with eerie supernatural abilities, telepathy, astral projection, you name it. His powers became one of the show's biggest unsolved mysteries. But what happened to Malcolm after the island? Well, believe it or not, Malcolm is now 29 years old and thriving in a totally different spotlight. He reinvented himself as a successful rapper and songwriter, teaming up with former co-star. Number 2, Bug Hall. You might know him better by his real name, Brandon Hall, but to the world he's always been Bug. That childhood nickname stuck with him and became the moniker that would light up his path to fame. And what a path it was! Bug shot to stardom as the lovable alfalfa in the 1994 children's classic The Little Rascals. The film was an instant hit, and his quirky charm made his face instantly recognizable around the globe. Who could forget that off-key serenade, "You are so beautiful"? The Little Rascals wasn't just a movie, it was a moment. A cultural touchstone for an entire generation of kids. And even decades later, it still holds a special place in audiences' hearts. But like so many child stars, Bug's journey after that iconic role was a roller coaster. He continued acting, and still does to this day, but never quite recaptured the same explosive fame of his early years. Surprised? He even popped up in American Pie Presents, The Book of Love. Yes, that was Bug. In 2020, he made headlines for the wrong reasons, arrested for huffing. It was a tough moment, but Bug is bouncing back. Clean-shaven or bearded, one thing remains clear, he's still a strikingly handsome man. Now married and a father, he's focused on family and growth. Beyond acting, Bug has worn many hats in the industry, dipping into producing, directing, and even philanthropy. He's supported charities that focus on children and the arts, showing his heart is just as big as his talent. His story has its highs and lows, but that's the reality of a life in show business. Through it all, one thing remains certain, Bug Hall will always be remembered for the joy he brought as Alfalfa, a character that continues to capture hearts across generations. Number 1. Haley Joel Osment. Why is it that when a kid says something creepy, it hits 10 times harder? I see dead people. That one chilling line from The Sixth Sense in 1999 cemented Haley Joel Osment in Hollywood history. He was just 11 years old, sharing the screen with Bruce Willis in what would become a cult classic. And get this, before that he played Tom Hanks' son in Forrest Gump. Most actors dream of working with legends like Tom Hanks and Bruce Willis. Haley had already done both before middle school. He wasn't just another child star. He became the first millennial male ever nominated for an Oscar in acting. That's next level. Since his breakout years, Haley didn't fade away. He pivoted into voice acting, games, films, TV, you name it. He's also kept popping up in some hilarious roles. Remember Comedy Bang Bang or Silicon Valley? Yep, that's him, still crushing it. He once joked, "It's hard to act terrified when there are 200 crew members watching you." Well, Haley, you sure fooled us, because you nailed it. Now, with a full beard and a completely new look, you might not even recognize him walking down the street. That adorable kid from The Sixth Sense? He's now a grown man doing his thing. Not every child star ends up lost or forgotten. Haley is living proof that you can grow up in Hollywood and still thrive. But looking at how tough the journey is for most, here's a question. If you could turn back time, would you take a shot at being a child star? And hey, don't forget to check out our other amazing content showing up on your screen right now. Catch you in the next one.